Hi there, this is John Wilkinson again from History Made Easier, with a presentation that sets out to explain how Vietnam spiralled into civil war after the Geneva Conference ended the war against the French and effectively ended French rule in Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh established a government in the north, the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, or the DRV, and Bao Dai appointed Ngo Dinh Diem as Prime Minister of the state of Vietnam in the south, as the Vietnamese people themselves chose sides. Nearly 1 million, mostly Catholics, migrated from north to south, approximately 100,000 moving north. But the situation was further complicated as the DRV's influence remained strong in the Mekong Delta in the south. In the south, Diem faced a number of serious problems in trying to establish a stable government. As well as the Mekong Delta, the communists held control over several southern regions. The two religious sects, the Cao Dai and Hua Hua, which operated in the Saigon region, had political influence on the people too, as well as possessing armed forces numbering in their thousands. The Binh Su Yin criminal organization controlled vice in the Cholon district of Saigon, and it too had its own militia numbering some 2,500 men. France also still had 160,000 troops in southern Vietnam, and they didn't support Diem. Diem was also a Catholic in a predominantly Buddhist society. His government lacked a broad base, ignoring the different sects, whilst including several members of his own family. In 1954, Diem used armed forces in an attempt to dislodge Viet Minh's strongholds and launched a Denounce the Communists campaign. In May, Diem successfully moved against Binh Su Yin and the religious sects, and then, in a rigged referendum in October, in which he won 98.2% support, replaced Bao Dai as head of state and declared the Republic of Vietnam. With the last of the French troops withdrawn in 1955, Diem seemed to have a chance of holding on to power. America, at least, felt that it had no other option than to support him. For his part, Ho Chi Minh and the leadership of the Communist Party in the DRV favoured a political settlement and sought to avoid an armed conflict with the South. But Viet Minh in the South, worried that Diem was establishing a power base, moved against him, and fighting broke out between southern Viet Minh and the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, the ARVN. This is in 1957. Diem now referred to the Viet Minh as the Viet Cong, translated as communist traitors to the Vietnamese nation. ARVN forces killed 2,000 Viet Minh and arrested 65,000 suspected communists, seriously weakening them. Still, they were able to respond and targeted local officials of Diem's government, assassinating several hundred of them. Although still hopeful of a political settlement, and that's the fall of Diem's government, Ho Chi Minh nevertheless recognised the need to support his comrades in the south, and shipments of supplies and men began in 1959. Civil war had broken out in southern Vietnam, and by 1960, Diem's regime was again looking exceedingly weak. Now I think we see ideological factors at play here. Communism versus Well, let's call it ZM's authoritarian capitalism. And at the same time, a fight for political control. After all, both Ho Chi Minh and ZM had their own power base at each end of the country. So, an explanation of how a country that had fought the Japanese and the French for independence spiralled instead into civil war. You may well get a question on the causes of civil wars, or else you might find yourself responding to ideology or political factors as causes of wars, or simply long-term causes of wars. So I feel this presentation could well prove useful to you. If you're finding my videos useful, do please subscribe to my channel and get your friends to do so. Make me feel loved. But for now, let me thank you for listening and wish you the very best of luck in your studies. Cheers.